November 14, 2025, just minutes before a scheduled investor call, Ubisoft, the French titan of the industry, requested an emergency halt on the trading of its shares. For years, the company had been bleeding, shadowed by delays, internal scandals, and a stock price that had plummeted over 90% from its peak. Yeah, you heard me right, 90%. But this time, it felt different. This felt like the end of Ubisoft. Today, we are looking at the 40-year journey of Ubisoft, from a small family farm in Brittany to a global powerhouse that is now fighting for its very survival. Ubisoft's story begins in 1986, not in a tech hub, but in a small village in France. Five brothers, the Guillemots, or Guillemot in France. They saw the future in computer software. Led by Yves Guillemot, they turned a family distribution business into a development house. Their first mascot, Rayman, put them on the map, but it was their aggressive acquisition in the early 2000s that changed everything. By buying Red Storm Entertainment, they secured the Tom Clancy brand, turning tactical shooters like Splinter Cell, Ghost Recon into household name. Then came 2007, Assassin's Creed. It wasn't just a game, it was the birth of the Ubisoft formula. Yes, a massive open world with towers to climb and maps to clear. For a decade, Ubisoft was the undisputed king of the open world. And the center of everything is Yves Guillemot. For years, he was seen as the protective father of the company, famously fending off hostile takeover by Vivendi in 2018. But in 2020, his mask slipped. A massive wave of allegations exposed a culture of systemic sexual misconduct and harassment within Ubisoft. The controversy didn't just hit the mid-level managers, it went to the very top, high-ranking executive, like Serge Hascock, Yves' right-hand man. While Yves himself claimed he was unaware of this issue and the depth of this toxic environment. But would you believe him? I do not. And apparently, the public and employees were not either. Recently, in late 2025, Yves was even summoned to testify in a French court regarding these past failures. The family business image was dead. Ubisoft was now seen as a boys' club where predators were protected for the sake of profit. But of course, the controversy didn't stop with Yves. His son, Charlie Guillemot, or the one that people called the Nepotism Baby, became a lightning rod for criticism. Entering the company right out of college as a studio head, many employees cried nepotism. Yeah, Nepotism Baby. But it was his project, Tom Clancy Elite Squad, that caused a global PR nightmare and a downfall of Tom Clancy brand. At that time, people think that Tom Clancy Elite Squad, what could go wrong with this? But apparently, in the hand of Charlie Guillemot, everything changed. The game's intro video used imagery associated with the Black Lives Matter movement to represent a terrorist organization. Like, wow, how could you use this movement to represent a terrorist organization in your game? Yeah, it's like waging war with the Black Lives Matter movement. The backlash, it was swift. Charlie eventually left the company to start a Web3 or AI studio. But the story did not stop there. In a move that shocked many people, he returned in mid 2025. He was named co-CEO of Vantage Studios, a new subsidiary funded by Tencent. To the gaming community, this was not just nepotism, it was a refusal to change, placing the Guillemot family control above the company's reputation. At the beginning, I really thought that by building a new subsidiary funded by Tencent, it will save Ubisoft because this subsidiary is going to handle Far Cry, Assassin's Creed, and Rainbow Six. But when I heard that Charlie is going to be a co-CEO of this Vantage Studios, oh man, it's like digging your own grave. Why do I still hope Ubisoft will survive? I will explain it later in this video. But before we continue, I would like to be grateful for all of you who have supported me in this channel. Thank you for your like, thank you for your subscribe. For those who have not subscribed to this channel yet, please hit that subscribe and like button if you like this video. Also, when this channel subscriber reach 1000, I will also give away one Steam key for Expedition 33. It's not much, but it's the least I can give for those who have supported me in this channel. Okay, so beside this company situation, the financial were worse. Between 2023 and early 2025, Ubisoft has laid over 600 employees from Montreal to San Francisco, all for these cost-cutting efforts. The stock market responded quickly. By January 2026, Ubisoft shares were trading near historical lows, around €6. Now compare that to their 2018 peak of over €100. Every major release by Ubisoft, from Star Wars Outlaw, X-Defiant, failed to provide the mega hit the company needed to stabilize their financial, which led to the infamous trading halt in November 2025, as rumors swirled that the company was about to be sold off entirely. To who? Tencent maybe? Since they have funded billions of euros into Ubisoft. But perhaps the most stinging indictment of Ubisoft's current failure isn't found in a spreadsheet. It's found in a rival game studio just down the road in Montpellier, Sandfall Interactive. Founded in 2020 by Guillaume Broche, a former Ubisoft associate producer who admitted he left because he was simply bored. With the AAA machine, Sandfall represents a great escape. Broche, he didn't leave alone. He was joined by a handful of Ubisoft veterans who were tired of the safe checklist-driven design that had come to define their former employer. Safe checklist design? I think you know what are those. Tower capture design, bloated contents, open world map. What else? Microtransaction inside, content paywall, subscription service, you name it. So Sandfall Interactive, in April 2025, they released Clair Obscur Expedition 33. It was a high-fidelity turn-based RPG, a genre that Ubisoft leadership has reportedly ignored for years, claiming it lacked global mass appeal. But the result? Expedition 33 became a global phenomenon, selling over 5 million copies by October 2025 and sweeping Game of the Year nominations. The irony is devastating. While Ubisoft spent an estimated 400 million and used over 1,000 developers to build Assassin's Creed Shadows, a tiny team of 30 core developers at Sandfall, led by Ubisoft refugees, deliver a polished, more innovative and more beloved experience for a fraction of the cost. It proved to the world that the talents in Ubisoft, they were not the problem. The problem lies in the management itself. So that's why I don't want Ubisoft to fall, because I know Ubisoft has many great talents. There are great developers, designers, artists, writers, which could develop a better game without those shitty management. Sandfall Interactive didn't just build a great game. They built a mirror that showed the industry, exactly how bloated and disconnected the Ubisoft empire had become. And I think Ubisoft is really great at disconnecting with their players. In early 2024, Ubisoft leadership dropped a bomb that would define their reputation for years. Philippe Tremblay, a top executive in Ubisoft, stated in an interview that for the gaming industry to evolve, players need to start getting comfortable not owning their games. This wasn't just corporate speak, it was a warning. Shortly after, Ubisoft proved they meant it by shutting down the servers for the crew and, in an unprecedented move, literally revoking the licenses from players' digital libraries. They didn't just stop supporting the game, they reached into your digital library and took it back. This sparked the global movement of Stop Killing Games. But Ubisoft's response was a cold shoulder, a firm commitment to the game as a service model. Starting from that moment, I never buy any Ubisoft games ever again, even in a very deep discount on Steam. I will not buy it only to realize several months later maybe the game has disappeared from my library or I cannot access it. And the funniest of them all came during the disastrous investor calls of late 2025. When pressed by analysts on why Star Wars Outlaws and X-Defiant were underperforming, Yves Guillemot didn't point to the bugs, the pricing, or the stale design. Instead, he took a defensive stance that went viral for all the wrong reasons. He told investors that the primary issue was player behavior. Yes, the player behavior. He argued that gamers were becoming hyper-selective and unpredictable, essentially blaming the audience for not buying a product they felt was unfinished. Oh my gosh, Assassin's Creed Shadows priced at $69.9, the one with the season pass $109.99 with microtransaction and content paywall? Come on. Not to mention you could remove the support and take it from a digital library anytime. I would be insane to buy the product. In one leaked transcript, he reportedly deflected questions about 40% stock drop by suggesting that the vocal minority of the critics was distorting the market perception of their quality. It was like he's blaming the players for everything that went wrong with their games. To investors, this was a CEO deep denial, and to the gamers, it was a declaration of war. Similar with Ubisoft, this company also thought turn-based RPG are done, the era was over, and it lacked global appeal. But different with Ubisoft, they still have money maker machine. If you want to know their story, click the video here. If you like the content, don't forget to give a like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers.